These are the materials that we're going to need for the top. I'm going to work with a medium weight yarn, and I'll use the grey yarn as my main color. That is the color that I'll make the top with. Then these other contrast color will be the color that I'll use for the ruffles. Then I'll also need my hook, and I'll use a 3mm hook, a pair of scissors, stitch markers, and a yarn needle to weave in the ends at the end of the project. So before you start making your top, you need to determine the size of the top that you're making. In my case, I want to make a size medium, and for a size medium, I'm going to make a total of 90 rows. So the 90 rows, I'll divide it by 2, such that I'll have 45 on one end, then 45 on the other end. So the first 45, I'll work an increase on one side. Then at the end of the 45 rows, I'll work another 45 with a decrease, and then I'll join at the end. So if you're working a size medium, work a total of 90 rows. If you want to work a size small, you can work between 70 and 80 rows. For size large, you could go up to 100. I'll leave more information in the description box below on the various sizes that you can make. So start with a slip knot as usual, then chain 30. I have my 30 chains. Next we add one more chain, so chain one more, then yarn over, go into the 30th chain with half double crochet. So put half double crochet into the 30th chain, then into the next chain, half double crochet, and half double crochet to the end for a total of 30 half double crochets, and that will mark the end of the first row. I'm done with the first row. Next we need to move on to the second row. So to move on to the second row, we chain 1 and turn, then go into this very first stitch with a half double crochet, then go back into the same stitch with another half double crochet. So we start increasing in the second row, and that will be our first increase. So the increase will only be happening on this side. Next we do half double crochet into the remaining stitches till you get to the end of row 2. So work half double crochet to this end. At the end of row 2, you should have a total of 31 stitches. Then for row 3, we chain 1 and turn. Now for the row 3, we're just going to be working one half double crochet into each of the stitches. So we are not increasing in row 3. So work a total of 31 half double crochets. And work to this end right here. At the end of row 3, we have 31 half double crochets. So we chain 1 and turn to move on to row 4. Now we're going to increase in row 4 at the beginning alone. So right here in the first stitch of row 4, we put 2 half double crochets. Then 1 half double crochet into each of the other stitches across. At the end of the 4th row, we have a total of 32 half double crochets. So to move on to row 5, as usual, we chain 1 and turn. For row 5, we are going to work 1 half double crochet without increasing for a total of 32. So we have our row 5 with a total of 32 half double crochets. Now row 6, we begin with an increase. And as you can see, we are only increasing in the even rows. So all the even rows will start with an increase. All the odd rows will have no increase. And this is a pattern that we're going to repeat till we have a total of 45 rows. So keep working like this until you have your 45 rows or whatever number of rows. So if you're working a small size and say you've started with you've decided that you're going with 70 rows, 70 rows divided by 2 means you're working 35 and 35. So you're going to work a total of 35 rows, and then at the end of the 35 rows, I'll meet you there and show you what to do next. So if you're working a medium size like mine, you'll work a total of 45 rows. You increase in the even rows at the beginning and work the odd rows with no increase at all. So keep going till you get the desired number of rows. And that number of rows should be half the total number of rows that you want to do for your top. I'm done with the 45 rows with an increase in the even rows. So these are my 45 rows up to this point. Now we need to work another panel that is completely the same as this one, but then we're going to mirror it on the other side. So right here we were working an increase. To work the other part, we're going to work a decrease. And again, we're going to work a decrease in the even rows. So we are at row 45. Now to start row 46, we start with a decrease at the beginning. So the decrease happens at the beginning on this end that is sharp right here. So we chain 1 and turn, and then start decreasing right away. So to decrease, we go into the first stitch, pull a loop, yarn over, go into the next stitch, then pull another loop. And that is the only decrease that we are working in that row. Then next we put 1 half double crochet onto each of the stitches till you get to the end of row 46. At the end of row 46, you'll chain 1 and turn, then work row 47 back to this end with no increase at all. I'm done with row 46 and 47, so I'm at the end of row 47. I need to start row 48. To do that, chain 1 and turn. Now row 48 is an even row, so we start row 48 with a decrease. Go into the first stitch, pull a loop, yarn over, go into the next, pull a loop, then yarn over, pull through all the loops. Then work 1 half double crochet into every of the other stitches to the end. So this is very simple. All you're going to be doing is decrease at the beginning of every even row, work the odd rows without an increase or a decrease, then work this for a total of 45 rows. So the 45 rows that we're going to work right now, plus the 45 rows that we've already worked, we should have a total of 90. So I've worked the other side, and this is what we have. At the end of the 45 rows of decrease, I've chained 1 and cut off the yarn, but then I've left a long tail that I'm going to use for joining this end to this other end right here. So this is how we're going to connect the two pieces together. at this point, and I'm going to use my yarn needle to do that. So get your yarn needle. If you do not want to use the needle, you can connect the two pieces using single crochets. So the first stitch of one side, join it to the first stitch of the other side, the second to the second, so each of the corresponding stitches are joined together. So we're going to change. So keep going till you get to the end, right here. I've joined the last two stitches. Next, I'm going to go back into that last stitch. Then I'll pass my needle through right here to make a knot. And then I'm going to hide this end that is remaining inside the stitches. Then I cut off the remaining part. And there our piece is connected. And this is how it's looking right now. So right here we have the front part of the top. And this right here is the back part of the top. Next we need to mark the middle stitch of the front part of the top, and you hold your top like this so that you're able to know this is the back part, so the middle part will be right here. Get your stitch marker and mark that middle part of the front part of the top like that. We also need to turn the top to the right side. After marking the middle point of the front panel, I again need to mark the middle of this point from below the armpits. This is the part that goes below the armpits, and then this is the middle part of the front part. So I need to divide this into two. So count your stitches, your rows, and divide them into two. So I'm going to count from here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So I'm going to count 6 from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the sixth one. So I'm going to mark right here. Then I turn to the back part and again count 6 from this point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 right here. Get the other yarn make a slip knot. So I'm counting 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So right here is where we're going to reattach that yarn with a slip stitch, like that. After reattaching the yarn, make a chain of 40. So I have my 40 chains. Next I'm going to attach the chain right here where we have the second stitch marker. So right here you can remove that stitch marker and then go right there with a slip knot. Then next, make another slip knot. Hold your work like this. Then start working 1/2 double crochet into each of the chain stitches that we've already made. So the first one goes right here. So make 1/2 double crochet for a total of 40 half double crochets. And you're going to end right here. I've made 40 half double crochets to this point. So next we need to attach this point to this stitch right here with a slip knot. Like that, and our strap is attached. So after attaching the strap, the next thing that we need to do is work the ruffles. So the ruffles, we work them from this point coming down to this part, then they'll flow to this front part until you get to the stitch marker right here. Then they'll come down up to a point right here. You can decide to go up to the end, but I want mine up to a certain point right here. So I'm going to mark that point where I want my ruffles to reach. So I'll work the ruffles coming to this point, then I'll slant a little bit on this side to a point right here. So let's begin working the ruffles. Now for the ruffles, we're going to work them using double crochets. So start by chaining 3, turn, into that very stitch where you've chained 3, put 2 double crochets. Into the next stitch, put 2 double crochets. Into the next one, put 3 double crochets. The next one, put 3 double crochets. And then the next one, and again 3 double crochets. Then the next stitch gets 2 double crochets. Then again the next one gets 2 double crochets. Next gets 3 double crochets. The next one gets 3. And the next one gets 3. So that's the pattern that we're going to repeat. So we've had 3 double crochets. So in every 2 stitches, put 2 double crochets each, then alternate. In the next 3 stitches, put 3 double crochets. In the next 2 double crochets. So we've already put 3 double crochets into 3 stitches, consecutive stitches. The next 2 get 2 double crochets. Then the next 3 get each 3 double crochets. So keep working like that, alternating between 3 double crochets into 3 stitches, then 2 double crochets into 2 consecutive stitches till you get to this point right here. At this point right here, I'm done with my set of 3 double crochets. So into this last stitch right here, I'm going to do 2 double crochets into that stitch. Then we move on to this part right here, and we're going to start right here with 2 double crochets. The set of 2 double crochets is done, so we need to do the set of 3 double crochets. We start right here with 3 double crochets. Then the second set of 3 double crochets right here. And that set goes right here. Next we work the set of 2 double crochets. Then the set of 3 double crochets. So we work the first one. Then the second one right here. And the third one right here. So at this corner part right here where we have the stitch marker, I remove it, and right there on that stitch I put 3 double crochets. Then into the stitch next to it right here, I put another 3 double crochets. And that is our turning point right there. So we turn. So after turning, we're going to be working on these stitches right here, these ones. These are the stitches that we'll work in. So hold your top like this, yarn over, go into this stitch right here and put 2 double crochets. So we are working only one loop, the protruding loop. So put 2 double crochets, then put 2 double crochets into the next loop. Then the next loop gets 3 double crochets. So that is one set of 3 double crochets. The next one gets 3. And the next one gets 3. Then the next 2 get 2 each, and keep alternating the pattern till you get to where your stitch marker is, and I'll meet you there. I'm at the point where the stitch marker is, and I've just worked 3 sets of 3 double crochets. Next, I'm going to remove the stitch marker. Then right onto that point where the stitch marker was, I'm going to put 3 double crochets. So it doesn't matter what you end with, make sure that the corner stitch gets 3 double crochets, because this is a corner stitch because we're going to turn at this point. So I said once I get to this point where I want the ruffles to end going down, instead of leaving it hanging there, I'll work some more stitches slanting to this side. And there is no specific formula for working those stitches. Whatever formula you choose for yourself, whatever will work for you. So I'll go in onto the row that is next to the row, to the stitch that I've worked right here. So right here, and put 2 double crochets. Then I'll shift to the next row. So from this row to this point, and put 2 double crochets. Then I'll shift to the next row and pick a loop and give it 3 double crochets. Shift to the next row, pick a loop, work 3 double crochets, shift to the next, a loop, work 3 double crochets, to the next one, I'll work 2 double crochets, then I'll pick the last one right here and give it 2 double crochets. And this is what I have right now. So that is our first row of the ruffles. Next we're going to work a total of 7 rows with no increase at all. So every double crochet that we've worked on this ruffle is going to get 1 double crochet, and we're going to work a total of 8 rows. So to begin row 2, chain 3 and turn, and the chain 3 acts as a double crochet. Turn your work. The next double crochet gets a double crochet, and each of the double crochets that we've worked will only get 1 double crochet to this end right here, to where we started the ruffle. At the end of row 2, this is what I have. And before I move on to row 3, I'm going to attach this point to the main piece right here. So I'll just count 1, 2, 1, 2, and right here I'll attach with a slip knot like that. The reason why I'm doing this is so that the ruffle does not just hang at the back right here. So to move on to row 3, we're going to chain 3. So then we're going to work row 3 up to this end. When you get to this end, we'll work row 4 back to this point. And then when you're done with row 4, we're going to attach this piece the same way we've done with this particular part right here. So we'll join row 4 to a point right here. Then row 6, we'll join it around this place or around this part. And row 8, we'll join it to this point right here. So keep working till you have your 8 rows.